445cc, moderate profile, half under the muscle, silicone. Hope this helps, lol. Do either of you know what that means?
I didn't understand a single word you said except for lol.
That is a comment. I'm embarrassed to say that if you'd read that to me, I could have said exactly what that is. It's a comment left by Kylie Jenner on a social media video by a woman on TikTok asking her to share where her boobs were from.
Oh, wow.
And she did. She turned up in the comments and she gave a lot of details. And the noise that you can hear is the impact of glow-up culture crashing into hustle culture.
Oh.
Because at that intersection, Kylie seems to have officially declared that the age of radical surgery transparency is here among women, certainly among celebrities. And we know that it's not just a one-off because within a few days, her mother Chris confirmed that her new face that everybody had been talking about was thanks to the same surgeon. He's been fielding hundreds of calls a day, as you can imagine, and his whole email server has crashed. And then yesterday, Khloe Kardashian commented about her own cosmetic procedures. Now, I don't know if you've seen these videos. Some of them are done by civilians and the ones that I tend to watch are done by plastic surgeons, and they show before and after photos of particular celebrities and all the different procedures that they've had along the way. Mm. We can talk about why I like them, perhaps with my therapist. But on this post by one of these surgeons who makes these videos, he did one on Khloe and showed all these before and after photos, and she replied in the comments listing all the procedures that she'd had. She was basically like, oh, I'm really flattered that you've done this. Some of it's right, some of it, you know, isn't quite right, and here are the actual details. And she listed everything from a nose job, laser hair removal, anti-wrinkle injections.
Something about a
injectables,
thread in a chin.
Soft wave laser, all these different things, filler, threads, all these different procedures. And what's interesting about all of this is that it seems to be this new trend of a group of women, because it's always been that people were like, oh, no, I haven't had anything done. I mean, Lindsay Lohan, who's also looking very different, she just says it's just sunshine and fresh air and lots of hydration. So that used to be it used to be seen as you have to pretend that you just woke up that way. But now there's this group of women, the Kardashians leading the way, who want to be acknowledged for all the work, all the money, all the pain that they endured. You know, there's a reason basically that they call it work, because they want to be acknowledged for their work ethic.
Oh, wow.
In the business of beauty and the work of beauty. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing, Em?
So back in my day, I was always like, oh.
It is your day. What are you talking about
back in my day? I mean, like when I was a
day
teen, like I think Kylie Jenner was the person I kind of grew up with, and that was where lip fillers became a whole thing. Like lip fillers were my generation.
Is
like
she about your age?
Yeah, she's a year younger.
Okay, she denied it though, remember
She denied
that?
it. So I was there in high school overlining my lips like crazy, looking like a clown. She had lip filler the whole time. She didn't tell me. Her best friend, Emily Burnham, was one of the big followers before she hit the big 1 million. And I always thought that I'd be the type of person to be like, do whatever you want to your face, to your body, just tell me about it and it'll be fine. And now they're telling me about it and I don't like it.
And you're deeply uncomfortable with it?
I'm deeply uncomfortable with it because I think I was living in this world where some people are beautiful and some people just are. And I was happy being the just are because we were all just are. And I accepted that the Kardashians were the beautiful. And now it's the sentiment that here's how I got beautiful and now you can too. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
That is a hill I have no desire to climb. It's like I want to check out of that race, and it's consistent with the Kardashian ethos that's sort of like get your effing ass up and work.
Yeah.
Like that idea.
Be prettier.
And it's labor and I want to be respected for it. But what it's also doing is normalizing expensive and often very invasive cosmetic procedures. And let's not forget that Kim Kardashian, with her, there was all that speculation about her bum and whether it was real, and it kind of suddenly got bigger. And then when she didn't tell us exactly what it was, we kind of claimed that we were being gaslit. Like it was all very strange. But what it did do was lead to this proliferation of Brazilian butt lifts, which literally killed people. Like people died in that surgery because it was so dangerous. So I'm always going to be resistant when I see and hear a celebrity who has access to the best surgeons, who has every resource available to them. And then they're like, you can do it too. Can cause a lot of damage.
But will you be resistant if everyone else in your life? Because the Kylie Jenner video is a good example because she was replying to a comment on a video by just a girl who was just like, please just tell me what you've done. Like, I love your boobs. I just want to get them. And she was just a normal girl. And I feel like it is slowly seeping into normalization. And I do think cosmetic procedures is going to eventually be another life stage where like we'll all get to a life stage where we'll all suddenly be in that moment where you're getting work done. So that doesn't mean I have to get work done.
Yeah, but the problem is that life stage is getting younger and younger. Like you're in your mid to late 20s and so is Kylie and you're already at that stage. So it's not that having work done is something that you used to be. You had a facelift if you were rich and famous and you were over 60 or 70. I thought I wanted this. Like I've always been like, stop gaslighting us. And I would fight with Holly about this all the time. Like, stop pretending you woke up that way. Stop pretending it, your body got like that by just running after your toddler and that you just get 8 hours of sleep and do meditation. That drives me crazy because I do feel like I'm being gaslit because you look in the mirror and you go, well, she's 20 years older than me and she says she just wears sunscreen. How come I look 20 years older than her? And now that I've seen it, I'm like, oh, maybe I don't want this.
It's almost considered now if you do not list the procedures, because again, the Kardashians have done a 180 from pretending they didn't get the work done to going, you know what, we're going to own it. And it's like if the Kardashians don't tell us, then it's seen as gatekeeping. Like you're gatekeeping what work you've got.
And so Kylie got a lot of praise. Oh, you're for the girlies, which is kind of like you're not gatekeeping, you're a girl's girl because you're sharing and you're being honest and you're not making other women feel inadequate when they look in the mirror because they don't look like you. You're saying, yeah, I didn't wake up this way. I actually think I do prefer it to the alternative. I mean, the alternative would be that there'd be more diversity of beauty everywhere we look, including on our phones. Like there is in the real world, like when you walk down the street or you go to the beach or you look around your workplace or your dinner table, people look all different ways, right?
Yeah. Jessica DeFino, who is one of my favourite voices on beauty, she has a Substack and she has some really interesting things to say about this. To your point, Em, she says that opting out of this, what she terms aesthetic labour, will have financial and social consequences. So when that becomes the norm, if you're the person who says, I'm going to let my greys grow out, I'm going to
show my wrinkles.
Yeah, exactly. Then there starts to be a cultural punishment for that sort of thing. So that's, I think, our resistance to it. And she also has this quote that says, if beauty is work, who's the boss? Which I think...
Capitalism.
Thank you, Mia. Ding, 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 ding. You win.
I think that's one of the first times I've said that on the show. Like, I know the answer.
The other thing she says is that today's standard of beauty is cyborgian, robotic, and inhuman. Yes. And I think that's very true.
And homogenous.
Yeah, which is the Kardashians have popularised that it's a face without expression.
Sometimes you'll be scrolling or, you'll see pictures of celebrities on a red carpet or someone will post something and you'll go, wait, is that Margot Robbie or is that a Kardashian or is that Emma Stone or is that Lindsay Lohan or is that Kris Jenner? And the women that you're trying to work out who it is are ranged in age between like 25 and 65. And they've all sort of got this Instagram face.
And the Kardashians do have a lot to do with that. So cosmetic surgeons will say that for the last 10 years, the most popular pictures they have been brought into their offices are Kardashians. Like that is a look. Yeah. And if you go to your local shopping centre, I'm sorry, but I think you can see it.
Oh,
I think it's starting to infiltrate everyone's worlds. And how do we feel about that? I mean, they're popularizing cosmetic surgery. I think that any surgery that isn't necessary has some element of risk.
There's been speculation that the Kardashians don't do anything by accident, right? And so this is 3 of them within the space of a month. So are they launching a range of clinics? Are they launching a range of post-surgery products? Are they launching a course? Like Kris Jenner is no one, the devil works hard, Kris Jenner works harder. What's actually behind this? Because everything they do is very business-minded.
I reckon it's a clinic. So the reason I think that is because Kim Kardashian came out with skincare, got a lot of criticism that they were like, mate, it's not your $90 oil. Like we can see what you're getting done.
Clinic with a K.
Yeah. I reckon that it's clinic with a K. And I reckon that they're just going hard. They're owning it and they're saying, here, come to this surgeon in our Kardashian clinic with a K and come get your work done.
Oh, I would be on board. Like, I think
You would be on board?
yes. I just think it's going to be one of those things like when we had to start waxing our eyebrows and we had to get like laser hair removal. I think it'll just be another one of those things. Yeah. And if all my friends are doing it and I'm the only one who's like the uggo, I can't.
You are not an uggo. I refuse to hear you talk about yourself that way. You are beautiful.
Do you know when I was tortured about anti-wrinkle injections, I was talking to one of my friends about it and she's like, you know, you don't have to tell anyone. You can actually just get it done.
I feel like that isn't the answer
and
to
I was
this
like, have you met me? I actually could not do that. But also, I should just say that sometimes when we talk about surgery or tweakments or things like that on the show, we get some comments from people who say, no one in my world is getting surgery. This has nothing to do with me. Totally hear you. But the reason that we do talk about it is because these women, for better and worse, are the standard bearers of beauty standards in our culture. So when everybody is doing a certain thing and you're seeing it on billboards, in movies, on TV shows, on your phone and on every social platform, that is how beauty standards change. That is how you start to look in the mirror and go, oh, my eyelashes are a little bit sparse, without even realising it. It's because we're swimming in this sea of beauty standards, which is how women, you know, when in my day, it used to be about having a flat bottom and about having no bottom. And does my bum look big in this? The answer that every man over the age of 40 knew to give was no, it doesn't look big in this, because the beauty standard was for a tiny, flat little bottom. But now the right answer, because beauty standards have changed, is does my bum look big in this? Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what women want to hear, because a big bum has now become the beauty standards. And that's what's so about women's faces and bodies being subject to trends in ways that men's just aren't.
Please don't take advice regarding skin and plastic surgery from celebrities. We can all agree on that.
Or us.
Even Mia thinks she's a doctor. She's simply not. No. Always speak with a trusted health professional.
All right, be honest. Has anyone ever quietly typed how to poach an egg for the 10th time, or is that just me? But maybe it's not so silly when you consider what some of the most searched for questions are. How many weeks in a year is in the top 10? Where am I? Is a personal fave. Always good to know where you are. Look, you might know a lot, but that doesn't automatically mean you'll know exactly what third-party insurance is too, for example. See, here's the thing. There's this expectation that we're all just born knowing how to navigate mortgages, taxes, and insurance, when really most of us are just figuring it out as we go. And that's exactly why Yui is such a breath of fresh air. When you call them, there's no such thing as a silly question. They actually get that insurance can feel complicated, and they make it their job to keep things clear and straightforward. They talk to you like a real person. No jargon, no judgment. Just honest answers and a genuine conversation about what you need. So if you've gotten questions, big, small, or should I already know this, Yui is there to help you feel confident, not confused. Insurance that's a bit more U-shaped, Yui, you in short.